Hi, I'm Jack. This is the story of my life. I was born in 1975, February the 6th, to Pam and Doug. I can't really say a whole lot about my childhood. I mean, it was pretty good as long as I can remember. I do remember the introduction of marijuana and alcohol in my life at an early age. Also, I can remember that partying was okay in my life. My parents partied a lot. Marijuana use and alcohol use was heavily done around the house. 5 years old, I can remember I woke up one night. My parents were having a party. And one guy handed me a joint, told me to pass it. I took a hit of it. I turned around and went to bed. That's the first marijuana I can remember. Alcohol, I don't remember, but I was told that, I would pretend like I was grandpa. I was probably 6 or 7. When that happened, I went out to my grandpa's garage. I drank a couple of his old Milwaukee, and, I got a buzz off of it. I don't remember how it made me feel. I don't remember how weed made me feel at that time. I was young. It was a young age. 8 years old, we moved into a house where we lived in the middle of a cornfield. My dad and my uncle, they grew marijuana, and it was abundant around the house. I can remember at 8 years old, I'd go out to the shed and pick some up off the ground, and me and my cousins and my brother would do what the best we can, smoking it. I remember it was probably right around 11. I had a babysitter. She was very friendly with me and my brother. I mean, it was a molestation form. When I was 12 years old, my parents got divorced. They moved separate. They lived together for a minute. My mom lived in a trailer. My dad kept the house. We were back and forth between both parents. We were in the same school district, and one week would be at my mom's, one week would be at my dad's. So that went on probably for a little while until my mom lost the trailer she was living in. And I remember us moving to Amelia with my mom. She got a little apartment outside of Amelia, and that was, really crazy time in my life because my mom had some crazy boyfriends, and me and my brother always defended my mom at no matter what cost. We always had to fight with her boyfriends. Mostly he would never physically harm us, but he would my mom. So we were defending her and, always getting in the fights with her boyfriends. At the age of 14, 15 years old, I think I was. I got molested. Me and my brother, a friend of ours was in a Big Brother program, and his big brother did child pornography. That happened probably for a little bit until one day my cousin said, "Hey, Jack and John, they and Ben went off to this guy's house to get some money." And I ain't really wanting to get into any of the details of that, but I mean, you can imagine. No, nothing happened to us as far as intercourse wise goes, but a lot of other issues happened. After that, I remember drinking a lot more with my cousins. Would always go to field parties. They were a little older than me, and drinking was a common thing on the weekend. I'd go, I'd make money, I'd work for my grandpa, mowing the lawn. I'd get my little $20 for the weekend, and hey, it was off to get drunk or get high with some weed. I think I was about 16, 15 or 16, and my dad, I moved in with my dad because my mom's boyfriend couldn't stand me. We got into a fight. I had to move out of the house because it was a continuous thing. And according to my mom and her boyfriend, I was unruly and that I needed my dad in my life. I ain't saying that was any better, but I do remember I didn't really drink or smoke weed at that time for until I was about 18 years old. And then I moved off to Tennessee after I quit school in the ninth grade, the third year. I give you a little brief on my schooling and what happened in school. I was never really, I didn't participate in school. I acted out. I was always in trouble, even at an early age, getting suspended. Back then, they could paddle us. I got paddled by the principals and the teachers. Even going into middle school, I didn't do much there neither. I went to school, I was pretty much a heartbeat in the classroom. And sometimes the teacher said I probably wasn't even that because I was sound asleep. So that's how school went for me. I mean, I made straight F's all the time. I never had a good grade. I think my best grade was a C minus during school. So life pretty much went on like that. I moved to Tennessee when I was 19, roughly right around when I was 19. I moved to Tennessee. And when I moved there, I worked for my uncle. I started drinking again with a guy at work. We went fishing. Then we went, to the strip clubs, and that life became clear for me. My uncle had a bar I worked at. I drank. I gave people who shouldn't be drinking alcohol, and that kind of diminished, and I kind of had to move out of Tennessee, and I moved back in with my dad. And at this time, my dad met the woman he's with today, along with my stepbrothers and my stepsister. There's 8 of us now in the whole household. I'm the oldest of the 8. The youngest, at that time I was 19, the youngest was probably 2, or roughly right around there. So I moved out of there, got my own place. I had 2 jobs I was working. Decided that I'd go door to door, sell some magazines. That was not but a party life. I mean, we worked during the day, we sold magazines, we came back, we smoked weed. I was introduced to cocaine. I did a little bit of coke, because you could drink for a really long time while you're doing coke. And, well, I spent all my money. I blew every check I got. After that, I came back home, good old New Richmond, Ohio. I was probably about 21. I got my own place. Partying continued. I mean, the party never stopped for me. I went from one party to another party, just into different aspects of my life. I partied, I drank, I smoked weed, I did coke, I was introduced to LSD, and eventually when I was 24, I was introduced to crack. And that totally consumed my life. Why snort something when you can smoke it and get that much better? I didn't do too good smoking crack. I mean, if it wasn't nailed down, I sold it for crack. I had my first son when I was 29. He was born to a crackhead dad. His mom, she was clean. I made life rough on them, And one day on my way home from getting my fix on in the city, I decided that I didn't want to live this life no more. I wanted to do something different. So I robbed the lady. I took her purse, and I went to prison. I went to prison for 2 years, which I didn't get to see my son maybe once or twice in the 2 years I was in prison. I went through a TC program. I learned all the tools. I learned, different things about myself that I didn't know. I came out prison in 2006. I was 31 years old. I met my ex-wife, who is my best friend today, my biggest supporter today. We got married, and when we got married, life was going good. Life was great. I had my son, my second son, in 2008. Me and her got married in 2009. Everything was doing good. I was clean, sober. Then 2010, or 2009 actually, I started drinking, smoking weed, and that's what I did. And, me and her occasionally, we tried a little bit of coke, because, that's something my brothers did, and we hung out with them, and we'd do a little bit here and there. Then 2011, 2009, we moved to Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa. Her husband moved there with her 3 kids. She was having some issues with her oldest son, so we decided to go out there. 2012 was a really rough year for me. That day after Easter in 2012, I became deathly sick with pancreatitis. I had built a pseudocyst in my pancreas, and it exploded. I was in a coma for 3 weeks. I was in the hospital for 2 months. The doctors actually told my wife at the time to call my family and that your husband might not make it. I apologize. I mean, it was a rough time for me. Um, in 2012, I came out of the hospital. They did a surgery on me in October. They hooked my pancreas up to my large intestines, pulled out my appendix and my gallbladder. They said a gallbladder stone blocked the pancreatic duct, which caused the pseudocyst, which made my pancreas explode. I had tubes sticking out of my stomach, draining bile out of my stomach. I ate like a normal person, but I also had to take vitamins through through my belly. That went straight into my belly to help get the vitamins and stuff that the food wasn't giving me. Like I said, 2012 was a really rough year. My surgery happened in October of that year, and the doctors said, "Well, Jack, you're healing up fine. You're doing good. You can go back to work." Well, I went back to work. We made a couple of visits up to see my brother and my family here in Ohio. My brother, he got into cooking meth, and I liked it. It gave me energy that I didn't have before. I'd only do it when we come up here. I didn't, and maybe took a little bit back with me and did a little bit here and there. 2013, they sent me back to work. I found out I was diabetic in 2013. They were giving me insulin shots. I was giving myself insulin shots, and I tried to work. I couldn't work, back and forth, on and off, job to job. Finally landed a job at a motel as a manager of the motel. You know, I was doing remodeling work for the motel, trying to fix the motel up. I had different people come in and out of the motel, you know, on a weekly basis. Most of our rooms we rented were on a week-a-month basis. We didn't have very many nighttime visitors there. I had a lady in one room. She moved out one morning. Well, I went into that room and I thought dope baggies. I thought they were. I didn't want my house cleaner to see them, so I picked them up, put them in my pocket. I got back to my room, which was a little apartment for me and my wife and my son, and I showed a buddy of mine. I'm like, "Hey man, look at the dope baggies I found," and I didn't know the hell that awaited me at that time. He's like, "Take a little closer," and I looked in and I'm like, "What is it?" He goes, "Meth. You've ever done meth?" I was like, "Yeah, my brother cooks all the time." He goes, "Well, this is different than what you're used to doing." He goes, "Let's go and get the stuff we need to smoke it." We started smoking meth. I didn't know the hell that was awaiting me at that time. I didn't know the psychosis that some people, when they do it, what it does to them and to myself. I showed my wife at the time, and she's like, "All right, let's do something." She's done meth too with me and my brothers, and we smoked it, and she goes, "I like this a lot better." And we didn't realize that it was going to be the road to our divorce. She thought I was cheating on her with another woman and stuff like that. I lost the motel where we were at. I lost my job because I wanted more. That's all I wanted, more. It became my new crack. I didn't realize how bad that was going to be for myself. I didn't know what I stumbled into, and I didn't know the hell that was awaiting me. Well, we moved back to Ohio, and due to different situations, me and her ended up getting a divorce. I moved to Tennessee with my son. I caught her cheating on me with a close relative, which was one of my half brothers that actually came into our life in 2008. And I didn't know what was awaiting us or me doing all this. I got busted with a little bit of meth on me. Unfortunately, I thought it was a different drug than what it was, or I would have done it. I went to return it to who I thought it belonged to. I got pulled over. They searched my vehicle, searched my wallet, and everything else. And I got pulled over. They searched my vehicle because I had possession charges on me. I didn't have a driver's license. My driver's license got suspended due to me where I was sick. I didn't get my child support paid. And I got in trouble, kind of ran for a little bit, avoiding trying to go to court and getting my indictment. I was put on probation for 2 years, which it extended to 5 years. I went to one program, the VOA down in Cincinnati. I came out, I was there, between there and jail, I was probably locked up maybe for 120 days. And when I got out, I was good. I had a good job. I was getting paid decent money. But I went into a local store and ran into a buddy of mine who needed a lift home, knowing what he did and what he would have on him. I picked up my meth habit again. This time, I've shot meth a couple of times in the past. This time, I went full blown. I was selling, I was doing things that, I should have never done. I was putting a lot of meth into my arms, and I was actually out there. I lost weight, my health was deteriorating. Then I ran into my youngest daughter's mom, and she got pregnant with my daughter. And at that time, I didn't know what was getting ready to happen. Me and her, we didn't get along. We were totally not who each other thought we were. I wasn't who she thought I was, and she wasn't who I thought she was. But we did have a daughter on the way, so we tried to make it work. I'm an addict of nature. I've been an addict since for a long time. We had my daughter, we lived with her mom. Me and her mom wasn't getting along due to my addiction. I wasn't getting along with her due to my addiction. And me and her, I had to leave the house. But my daughter and her mom could stay there with her mother. Then her and her mother got into a fight. She moved in with me, but I never slowed down. I just picked up on my drug use. I never slowed down. I hid it from her, Even when she was clean, I wasn't. I wasn't high around her because I knew she'd know. But when I went to work, she didn't know I was getting high at that time until I made the slip up, which at that time, I guess it's a good thing. I pocket dialed her, and she heard me and my brother having a conversation, and, pointed it out to me, and I said, okay, yeah. She thought I was just smoking and snorting it. She didn't realize I was putting it in my veins. The day I decided to tell her, that was the end of it. Her and my daughter went back to her mom's. They wouldn't let me see my daughter. They're like, as long as you're sticking that shit in your arm and up your nose and smoking it, you're not seeing your daughter. Well, that drove me insane. I went into rehab, I think it was 2021, or at the end of 2020. Yeah, it was, actually it was 2021, January the 4th of 2021. I went to CCC, it's a CBF up in Lebanon. I ended up spending until September, it was in the August, beginning of September. I got out, I tried to see my daughter. I was clean. I was trying to do the right thing and be a good parent. When she quit letting me see my daughter and I found out I was off probation for the little possession charge I got in 2015 or 16, I just, I went back into my addiction again, because the best way Jack covers up his feelings is to get high. That's all Jack knows, is when he's got a big issue to deal with, he gets high. That's all he ever wants to do, is get high whenever something traumatic or crazy happened. 2022, it was February. It was my birthday. I just turned 47. And Jack went straight back to full-blown use daily, 3 or 4 times a day. I was doing a lot every day. I went from 185 to about what my build now down to a $130. I was sick. I was very sick. And I remember I was staying in my dad's. I was, had a little room behind his garage, and I'm not wanting to live, not wanting to die, not wanting to be here. I blew off my 14-year-old, well, he's 15 now, but I done blew him off, saying, well, we'll do this weekend. And well, no, Jack was worried about getting high every weekend, every day. That's all Jack cared about, was getting high. It was August. I called Kent's place, the recovery council. They might not, I don't know what happened, whether Jack was still too busy getting high when they called back, but I missed the phone call and I didn't call him back. Well, my brother and his girlfriend at the time came out to my little room and said, Jack, you gotta do something. You look like you're dead. I literally was skin hanging off the bones. And, that stuck for me for about a day or two. Then my sister, my youngest stepsister, she came over and she's like, Jack, there's a place down in Richmond, Adams Recovery. You need to go down there. I went down there and they couldn't take care of my medical needs. I was there for 30 days. I did not want to use. I did not want to get high no more. I was tired of being tired. I was sick of being sick. I mean, even the 30 days I was there, it was rough for me. So I went to recovery, went there, they medically discharged me. I called the recovery council again. That was on a Friday, and I was in the recovery council that Tuesday. And I'm fighting for my life. Now I don't want to use no more. I'm doing whatever it takes. I completed that program at Recovery Council, and that brought me to Reach for Tomorrow. And I am so happy I'm getting to know who I am. I'm thankful for the staff that's here, and thankful for everything that they do for me. And I'm thankful for you all for letting me tell my story. And I just hope that gives someone strength and hope to realize that there is a better life than the life I was living. And that's all I got.